and spicy sides.
From breaking headlines to backroom whispers.
Also hot and fresh. Happy Hump Day. I'm Monique Tuzon-Basi.
I'm Ferdi Salvador. Glad to have you with us.
I'm Mai Rodriguez. This is a Daily Dish.
And I'm Chal Lontoc. Join us for the next hour and a half with the news, meet the story that matters to all of us. Happy Wednesday,
It's the
everyone.
last Wednesday of April.
Here we go again. I love the countdown.
I just wanna
She
say
needs to
that.
remind you, Mo, because Mo, earlier this morning, she was like, oh, where were you at the other show, Agenda, last night? I was like, because it's a Tuesday.
I thought yesterday was a Monday, and I thought
I thought
yesterday
it was a Wednesday.
But now we know it's the last Wednesday of April.
And then tomorrow's the last Thursday, and then the next day is the last
That's Friday.
We're gonna
No,
count down.
Friday is May 1st. Finally,
yes.
it's
Labor Day.
Labor Day.
Yes, to our calendar.
Oh, Chal, what's going on?
I want to share this because although it's been going on since 2019 actually for Japan Airlines, they're the only airline that actually posts on their website, and should I say it's a warning? It's more like a telling of where babies are sat. So they actually put emojis, not just a bulkhead, anywhere else in the plane. So they actually
They're
put there
emojis.
an emoji of a baby. So I don't know if this is a thing right now because I know people always contest the fact that, oh, it's too noisy, while the other camp says, of course, the moms would say that, but babies are babies. So where do you stand?
I stand by, you know what, you just have to be a little bit more considerate and understanding of parents that travel with their children because it's not their fault. You know what I mean? I feel so bad for parents, of course, with crying babies. You know why they cry in the plane?
It's the air.
It's the
air,
pressure.
the pressure.
So,
Yes.
it doesn't take much to be kind.
Well, I'm all for this. This is information you might need.
Yes.
So it's better for
So you
everyone.
can choose
That's
the
just
seat
good,
that
yeah.
you want.
Just because, like, if you're going on a work trip or you want more rest, at least you know, okay, the baby's here. I'll sit
I'll
somewhere
stay
else.
somewhere there.
Or if you don't mind.
People expect to sleep on the plane. Most people anyway. Most
Well,
travelers.
This is still not 100% sure because don't forget, aircrafts do change last minute. But yeah, it's a good indication. My stand on this is either you bring your noise canceling headphones, but you say they don't always work that good.
Depends on what
Yeah.
headphones you have.
Or depends how
Yeah.
the baby screams. Or just remember you were once a baby too.
Not only that, if you are nice to the baby and the parents and the flight attendants, they might give you more freebies.
Or
that's
upgrade
true.
you.
Oh, wow.
Never know,
It's just
right?
good information to
Yes.
have. So I'm all for it.
Talking about babies, there's this thing that came out with U.S. President Trump, being a little bit touchy-feely with the First Lady during the visit, the royal visit of the King Charles and Queen Camilla, wherein he basically touched or tapped the behind of the First Lady, and it's gone viral.
Well,
Why did I leave it to baby? Because Melania is his baby.
okay, now we got it. Well, you see, there's actually a few other
Tap
photos
during.
of
That's
him
correct.
usually putting his hands in that area. I don't know if it's just a habit or, but it's his wife after all.
Yes, but is that presidential?
Is that president? You tell me, Ferdi, is it presidential?
I don't think it's appropriate for the situation.
And for all the cameras there to see, well, people are going to say something, of course.
Well, I just want men to know that women do feel it. Because I know a lot of men, would try to, not that they intend for anything, but they would, kind of put their hands towards certain parts of our body. We feel it. We feel it. We know it when it's at our back or lower behind.
Well, I guess the positive takeaway from this is that they are okay.
Well, into lighter news, guys. So you know how we're talking about like this year and moving forward, we're going back to like 90s nostalgia.
Yes.
So like headphones now, because typically we have Bluetooth headphones.
Correct.
People are going for wired headphones again. It's the thing like Hailey
okay.
Bieber, the Kardashians,
Yeah.
they're being seen with wired headphones. Why? One, it's cheaper, and two, the Bluetooth connection, it's more stable, and it's more practical.
There's a third
so that's what people
reason.
are saying. And what's
You
the third
don't lose
reason?
it.
Third, exactly,
And yeah.
that one.
It will
And
never
also,
fall off.
The things that you put on your ear could be quite annoying, right?
Yeah.
What is it?
What things do we put
The
in our
wireless ones, the ear pods.
The AirPods, yeah.
Sometimes my ears are small, so maybe it's just me. It
Yeah,
doesn't
they have
fit
like
me.
different,
Yeah,
like the
different
bud sizes.
sizes.
But no, I understand. Like if it's a long haul flight,
Yeah.
it can be annoying to like be in your
So
ear
it's
all the
really
time.
all about nostalgia, bringing back the old and turning it into new. A lot of this happening not just with,
Yes.
but also with any other gadget.
Yes.
Yes. All right. Well, today is an exciting day for a lot of things. We're going to be talking about artistry, identity, and culture as we have music photographer Niña Sandejas, and of course, a special feature from our friends at the Aivee Clinic. So I'm quite excited about that opening.
Yes, excited for this as well. Stay tuned for those conversations. But first, we have the headlines. In today's top stories, impeachment hearings against Vice President Sara Duterte continue with a vote on probable cause likely to be held if discussions wrap up early. We get the latest live from the Batasang Pambansa in a bit. Akbayan Representative Chal Jokno says someone dropped the ball, allowing former Congressman Zaldico to leave the Czech Republic. The United Arab Emirates will exit the Organization of Petroleum and Exporting Countries, or OPEC, in May. And later in the show, we'll have music photographer Niña Sandejas and a special feature from our friends at Aivee Clinic. Stay tuned for that. As the impeachment hearing continues, several lawmakers are pushing back following the charges filed by the Vice President's husband against them and officials of the Bangko Sentral and the AMLAC. Let's get the details from Janina Vela, live from the House of Representatives. Janina, tell us more.
Mai, this is not about discrepancies, this is about character. That is the initial statement of House Committee on Justice Chair Jervil Luistro as she set the tone for today's hearings. Once again questioning the increase in net worth of the Vice President Sara Duterte from 2024, or rather from 2016 at 24 million pesos to 88.5 million in 2024. Luistro contrasted these figures on the reported absence of declared cash on hand or cash deposits, saying kung biro man ito, hindi ito nakakatawa. Meanwhile, several lawmakers commented on the charges filed last Monday by Man Scarpio, husband of the VP, who filed against the Anti-Money Laundering Council, the Bangko Sentral ng Pilipinas, and several lawmakers, including Representative Chal Jokno, Representative Percy Sendanya, and Representative Jervil Luistro. The complaint alleges violations of the Bank Secrecy Law, Data Privacy Act, and the Anti-Money Laundering Act. Sendanya clarified the lawmakers' position, saying hindi si VP Sara at ang husband of the year na si Man Scarpio ang victim dito. Jokno also defended the proceedings, saying lawmakers were only carrying out their constitutional duty and their issuance of the subpoena by the AMLAC ay mismong nakabase sa rules of impeachment ng House of Representatives. According to him, they had violated no law. Luistro added, if there is nothing to hide, there is no reason to hide. There is no reason to obstruct. She further said the only people who fear the disclosure of these transactions are those with dirty secrets. Mai, at 1 p.m., the Bagong Alyansang Makabayan are expected to lead a protest calling for the impeachment of the Vice President. The group says the evidence presented in the hearings is enough basis to proceed with impeachment. Mai?
So, Janina, just to clarify, Congress or a committee of the House of Representatives does not fall under the confidentiality provisions of the Anti-Money Laundering Act?
Well, Mai, according to Representative Chal Jokno, ayon sa kanya, ayon mismo sa Supreme Court actually, the prohibition and the confidentiality provisions cannot apply to the AMLAC because it would prevent the AMLAC from carrying out its legal mandate in Section 7 of the Anti-Money Laundering Act to examine suspicious transactions. He also said that no member of the House Committee on Justice is a part of the AMLAC, so the restrictions being cited do not automatically apply to the lawmakers. And lastly, he stressed that no bank deposit records were actually disclosed during the hearings. So it seems as though the lawmakers that were named in Manscarpio's complaint have stood by their position as the attention now turns to how this case will move forward. Mai.
Thank you, Janina Vela, reporting live from the House of Representatives. Speaking of financial records, the Statement of Assets, Liabilities, and Net Worth, or SALN, is not enough evidence in the impeachment trial of Vice President Sara Duterte. Former COA Commissioner Heidi Mendoza made this statement in an interview with a spokes.
You're looking for probable cause. And ang pinakamababaw na titingnan dito ay yung non-declaration, di ba? Yung hindi mo dineclare. Hindi pa natin mapapag-usapan dito yung sasabihin natin, may ill-gotten wealth ba? We do not have the sufficient evidence to prove that, right? And I don't think that the hearing in the Congress is the process to arrive at. There, I would say. Dito, ang tinitingnan ng Latin ay pinaka-basic. Meron bang misdeclaration? Yung meron kang hindi na i-declare.
In other news, Akbayan Party List Representative Chal Jokno calls for an explanation on how Zaldico was able to leave the Czech Republic, saying somebody clearly dropped the ball. Jokno tells BNC's On Point that an Interpol red notice against Ko could have been issued more quickly.
Well, I think that in situations like this, the more transparent our government is, the easier it is for them to explain to the people exactly what's happening. We're all left in the dark as it is, and up to now, we're basing it on statements that are coming from up there. But we don't really know for a fact what really is the legal status of Zaldico and where he is. Of course, the reports would indicate he's now in France, but paano nga nangyari yun at ano ngayon ang gagawin ng ating pamahalaan?
The lawmaker adds that what really happened was disappointing. Malacanang has said Ko is now under the jurisdiction of French authorities, where he is reportedly seeking political asylum. Political strategist Lito Banayo blames the government for the delay in the issuance of a red notice against Zaldico by the Interpol. Banayo tells BNC's at the forefront, Interpol was used by the government as justification for turning over former President Rodrigo Duterte to the International Criminal Court.
Ginamit kasi natin ang Interpol recklessly when we made Interpol, we said that we were following Interpol and not the ICC when we surrendered former President Rodrigo Duterte to the Hague, to the ICC, no? So parang if you're in the Interpol, you'd be very careful about this because the arrest of President Duterte was international news, no? It was big all over Europe and all over the world for that matter. Now here comes this another fugitive of Philippine justice called Zaldico. You'd be very careful before you give a red notice.
Banayo also calls on the Senate to investigate possible lapses that may have enabled Zaldico to evade detention at the Czech Republic. Government recovery efforts continue as the Bureau of Customs prepares to hand over remaining assets from the controversial Vizcaya luxury fleet to the BIR. It's a critical move to settle billions in alleged unpaid taxes stemming from the flood control scandal. We have more from Andrea Salve reporting to us from the NBI office in Manila. Andrea, what's the latest?
A major legal handover is set for later this afternoon. We expect the remaining 17 Vizcaya luxury cars currently under BOC custody to be formally turned over to the BIR. This transfer will take place at the Pasig City headquarters of St. Gerard Construction, the very site where the BOC executed a search warrant last year. Customs Commissioner Ariel Nepomuceno says this turnover is a step in the administration's mission to recover stolen public funds linked to the flood control scandal. While the BOC has handled the seizure and initial auctions, the BIR is now aggressively targeting these remaining assets. Back in late 2025, revenue officials issued a notice of restraint and levy to tag the vehicles, ensuring they are held to cover the couple's reported billion peso tax liability. To date, the BOC has already generated over 102 million pesos for the National Treasury from 4 previous public auctions. As for the remaining stock, 4 high-value units, including a Maserati Levante and 2 GMC Yukons, are scheduled for a negotiated sale tomorrow. This move comes after the vehicles failed to find buyers in traditional bidding. Officials stress that audits of the Vizcaya-owned firms are ongoing, with more criminal complaints expected as the investigation into the massive tax evasion scheme continues. Back to you, Mai.
Thank you for that report, Andrea Salve. The government has pulled out all the stops to help Filipinos weather the Middle East crisis, spending billions and fast-tracking subsidies. Officials say relief measures are underway, but lawmakers counter the public may not be feeling the full impact yet. Hannah T joins us now live from the Senate. Hannah, tell us more about this and how much has the government spent so far?
The government has already spent over 41.6 billion pesos to cushion the impact of the Middle East crisis. On today's Senate Protect Committee hearing, it was reported that these funds were used across multiple intervention programs drawn from the 2026 national budget, continuing appropriations and automatic funds. The government also reported that more than 5,700 overseas Filipino workers and over 1,600 dependents have returned from the Middle East since March as part of ongoing repatriation efforts. To limit the impact of rising fuel costs, authorities said they're focusing on keeping power prices stable, including the suspension of the wholesale electricity spot market and the implementation of modified pricing. This, they said, helped keep the April power rate increase at just 53 centavos per kilowatt hour, lower than earlier projections that reached as high as 9 pesos. Refunds ordered by the Energy Regulatory Commission worth over 14 billion pesos are also being fast-tracked to ease the burden on consumers. On basic goods, the government said there's a commitment to hold prices steady until May 10 for selected products, while the distribution of 20 peso rice has already reached over 450,000 beneficiaries. Logistics support has also been expanded, including toll rebates, discounted rural transport for agri-products, and reduced port and air fees to help keep food supply moving. But Senator Rodante Marcoleta calls for the need for clearer data, particularly on fuel pricing and electricity costs, as he says the public is still not feeling the full impact of these interventions. Responding to this, Senate Protect Committee Chair Win Gatchalian pointed out that the law that seeks to suspend fuel excise tax allows the Department of Energy to require oil companies to disclose data, including cost structures, to ensure that there is no profiteering during the crisis. Marcoleta also raised his call for targeted electricity subsidies for low-income households, and the Department of Social Welfare and Development says they're open to work with Marcoleta on this should this legislation move forward. Back to you, Mai.
Thank you, Hannah T, reporting to us live from the Senate. Environmental advocates gathered at the DENR office to protest the proposed LPG terminal and refilling plant in Batangas. Joan Manalo joins us for the details. Hi, Joan.
Hi, Mai. A group of environmental advocates is calling for the halt of the construction and establishment of an LPG terminal and refilling plant, including an LPG receiving facilities in Lobo, Batangas. Officials and members of the Coalition for the Preservation of Lobo, Batangas staged a protest earlier today outside the Department of Environment and Natural Resources Central Office in Quezon City to formally express their opposition to the project. The group is urging the DENR to revoke or declare null and void the project covered by contract ID number ECC R4A 2023-070090. According to the advocates, there is an urgent need to stop what they describe as a threat to the environment, as well as to the health and safety of residents in Lobo, Batangas, and nearby Batangas City. They also warned of the possible destruction of the Ferdi Island passage, which they said could be endangered by the construction of the LPG terminal and refilling facility. In a letter addressed to the DENR, the group claimed there was no public consultation with concerned stakeholders within 60 days from the proponents' receipt of the Environmental Compliance Certificate, or ECC, issued on July 7, 2023. They also alleged that no information, education, and communication plan was implemented to inform the public of the project's environmental risks as required under the ECC. Hence, the group maintains that the project's proximity to residential communities, including students and school personnel from a nearby school, poses significant health and safety risks. They further warned that the Ferdi Island passage, along with the protected coral reef sanctuary of Banalo, could face serious threats from potential waste discharge or oil spill contamination from LPG shipments. The advocates also stressed that these concerns taken together warrant the cancellation of the project's environmental compliance certificate. Joining the Coalition for the Preservation of Lobo, Batangas in today's protest were several other organizations, including the Philippine Movement for Climate Justice, the Association of Lobo Resort Owners and Tourist Accommodations, and the Archdiocesan Ministry on Environment. Lobo residents, resort owners, and church-based groups had also previously held mass actions in a continuing campaign against the proposed LPG terminal. Mai.
Thank you, Joan Manalo reporting. As the Philippines takes chairmanship of the ASEAN, one of the key issues has become energy amid global events and how ASEAN partners can cooperate towards sustainability and market independence. We have Che Sulit on the line for the full report. Che, go ahead.
The U.S. ASEAN Business Council, in partnership with the ASEAN Business Advisory Council Philippines, launches its strategic action plan supporting the Philippines chairship this year. Based on 5 high-level roundtable discussions, the plan brings together key recommendations from government leaders, industry experts, and private sector groups. The discussions focused on 5 major areas: sustainability and food security, healthcare, supply chains and logistics, digital economy and workforce development, and artificial intelligence. The initiative comes at a critical time for ASEAN as the region faces challenges in energy security, trade resilience, and digital transformation. President and CEO of the ASEAN Business Advisory Council Philippines, former Ambassador Brian McPeters, says they hope the government draws on the strategic policies for the ASEAN agenda. He adds that the initiative is focused on a long-term approach to strengthen ASEAN countries and address key regional challenges. Through the plan, the Department of Foreign Affairs encourages free trade agreements with other countries. DFA Undersecretary Maria Andrelita Austria says lower trade barriers help countries diversify markets, especially at a time when global markets are under pressure. From the private sector, Philippine Chamber of Commerce and Industry Chairman George Barcelon says that infrastructure must be a top priority. He highlights the need to improve roads and logistics systems to reduce costly delays and detours. Parqal also stresses the importance of better flood control to support business operations. The Advisory Council says that the plan will be more inclusive, with a stronger focus on supporting micro, small, and medium enterprises as part of ASEAN's long-term growth strategy. That's the latest from my end. Back to you, Mai.
Thanks, Che Sulit reporting. A weak peso may possibly affect GDP growth. That's according to Brian Ang, Vice President for Trade of the Philippine Chamber of Commerce and Industry, or PCCI. Speaking on Bilyonaryo News Channel's Business Brief, Ang says consumer spending tends to decline when the peso weakens.
With the peso weakening again, do you think this is slowing down again our GDP growth? What are your thoughts on that?
With weakening peso, the problem is your consumer spending goes down because the power of the peso goes down. And unfortunately, the fastest way to address this is for the BSP to increase interest rates. That is the only way we can control it because we are an import-dependent country. Not only do we import raw materials, a lot of the finished goods are also imported. So we want our consumers to at least have more purchasing power. They do not have much take-home pay to begin with anymore because of the increase in the price of diesel. We want them to be able to at least consume the usual products that they used to consume in 2025.
He adds that the Philippines is facing a deepening economic squeeze driven by external shocks that are pushing up prices, forcing a survival mode mentality across the private sector. The Philippine Health Insurance Corporation is expanding maternity benefits to lighten the financial burden on expectant mothers. And this is starting tomorrow. Aivee Reyes joins us on the line for the details. Aivee.
Yes, Mai, President Bongbong Marcos announced the expanded maternity benefits of Insurance Corporation PhilHealth this morning. For normal or regular deliveries, the President announced that PhilHealth's coverage is now up to 29,000 pesos from its previous coverage of 9,750 pesos. For cesarean patients from 38,000 pesos, PhilHealth will now cover up to 62,000 pesos. Prenatal care is also expanded to 8 checkups from 4 checkups, and this includes 3 follow-up checkups as the government aims to accommodate childbirths without putting the burden on mothers. The modified prenatal benefits will also include vaccines and laboratory tests. These expanded benefits will be implemented by PhilHealth starting this week, April 30. And according to President Marcos, childbirth should not be complicated by financial hurdles. That's all I have here from the palace. Back to you.
Thank you. Aivee Reyes reporting to us from Malacanang. The House Justice Committee holds its 4th and final hearing on the impeachment complaints filed against Vice President Sara Duterte. After scrutinizing her spending of confidential funds and allegations of ill-gotten wealth, the panel is tackling or expected to tackle her alleged death threats against President Bongbong Marcos and the First Lady. May live report si Isaiah Mirafuentes ng Abante mula sa Batasang Pabansa. Isaiah, ano na ang nangyayari dyan?
May nagpapatuloy pa rin nga ang posibleng huli ng pagdinig ng House Committee on Justice kaugnay sa impeachment complaints na kinaharap ni Vice President Sara Duterte. At ngayon nga lang isa nga sa inaabangan natin ngayon kung bubuksan ba ang tax records ni Vice President Sara Duterte sa pagdinig. Ngayon lamang napagdesisyonan na ng komite na hindi ito buksan. Sa boto ng 38 na nag-no, 6 mga nag-yes at 0 abstain na pagdesisyonan ng House Committee on Justice na hindi na ituloy ang pagbubukas ng sealed box na naglalaman ng tax records ng mag-asawang Duterte. Kabilang nga sa mga nagpahayag na tutol silang buksan ito ay si Manila 6th District Representative Benny Abante at si Iloilo 1st District Representative Janet Garin. Sinasabi nila sa ating kanina, May, mas mabuti na raw na maging sigurado habang umuusad itong pagdinig dahil ang isang pagkakamali sa kanilang proseso ay posible na magpabago sa kahihinatnan ng buong impeachment complaints laban sa bise. Samantala, may pasado alas 10 ng umaga nang magsimula ang pagdinig ng komite. Sa pagsisimula pa lang ay binatikos agad ng chairwoman nito na si Representative Jervil Luistro ang hindi pagdalo ng bise sa Kamara at pagsasabing sa Senado lamang siya haharap.
Napaisip tuloy tayo. Kung doon siya sasagot, hindi ba't kinikilala na rin niya na meron ng sapat na ebidensya dito at patungo na talaga sa Senado?
Iginit rin ni Luistro na handa ang komite na sagutin ang mga reklamo na isinampa laban sa kanila ni Attorney Man Scorpio. Subalit binatikos rin niya ang laman ng mismong mga reklamo dahil hindi naman daw tinanggi ng kampo ni Duterte ang mga bilyones na nakita sa AMLAC report at tila inaamin raw nila na bilyon-bilyon ang talagang tinatago ng kanilang pamilya. Samantala nandito na rin si National Bureau of Investigation Director Melvin Matibag. Sinabi niya kanina na handa silang sagutin ang lahat ng itatanong sa kanila. Kabilang sa inaasahan natin ngayon ay ang pagbubukas naman ng investigation records ng NBI kaugnay sa reklamong grave threats ng bise. Ito nga ay matapos na magbanta ang ikalawang Pangulo sa buhay ng first couple at former House Speaker Martin Romualdez. May samantala ngayon nagpapatuloy na ang pagdinig ng komite kaugnay naman sa investigation records ng National Bureau of Investigation. Yun inaabangan natin kung ano nga ba yung mga laman nito, kung meron na nga bang mga sinyales na tinuloy ng bise ang kanyang banta laban sa ating presidente maging sa First Lady kasama na nga dyan ng House Speaker. At samantala maliban dyan, inaabangan na rin natin ngayong araw ang posibilidad na magbotohan na ang mga miyembro ng House Justice Committee kaugnay sa determination of probable cause o kung may sapat bang batayan para ituloy ang impeachment complaints ni VP Sara sa plenaryo ng Kamara. At yan muna ang pinakahuling balita mula dito, Mai. Balik muna sa'yo.
Isaiah, sumalang na ba si NBI Director Matibag dyan sa Justice Committee panel? Alam ko, kailangan mabilis yung kanilang diskusyon ngayon para makapagpatuloy sila sa botohan regarding sa probable cause. At ilan pa ba yung mga resource persons na dapat umupo dyan sa before the House Justice Committee?
Yes, Mai. Sa ngayon, nandito pa si National Bureau of Investigation Director Melvin Matibag. Nakita rin natin siya kanina nang dumating dito. Tinanong rin siya natin kung ano nga ba mga aasahan natin. Ang sabi niya sa atin, sasagutin lamang niya lahat ng itatanong sa kanya ng mga miyembro ng komite. At doon nga naman, Mai, kung matutuloy pa ba ang botohan ng probable cause kahit hindi binuksan ang tax records. Nakausap din natin si Representative Terry Ridon. Ang sinabi niya, pwedeng matuloy at tuloy na tuloy pa rin ang magiging botohan nila kaugnay nga sa probable cause. Mai.
Alright, maraming salamat Isaiah Mirafuentes ng Abante Live mula sa Batasang Pambansa. In other news, former Congressman Mike Defensor seeks protection for the whistleblower in the flood control scandal. Nasa linya si John Rees para sa detalye. Hi John, ano pa ang sinabi ni Defensor?
May iginiit ni dating kongresista o ni dating congressman Mike Defensor ang kredibilidad ng testimonya ng 18 na dating ex-Marines kasabay ng panawagang ilagay sa protective custody ang whistleblower na si Orly Guteza. Ito ay matapos umanong kilalanin ng ombudsman ang mga naging pahayag ni Guteza sa pagharap nito sa Senate Blue Ribbon Committee noong nakaraang taon. Kabilang din umano sa kinilala ang testimonya ng dalawa sa 18 ex-Marines na sina Christopher Esquivel at Gil Navidad Jr. Batay sa dokumentong hawak ni Defensor kaugnay sa kasong umano'y isasampa ng Ombudsman laban kina dating House Speaker Martin Romualdez at Zaldico dahil sa manumalyang flood control projects, nakapaloob dito ang testimonya ni Guteza at ng dalawang ex-Marines hinggil sa umano'y pagpapadala ng basura o mali-maleta umanong pera sa address na may kinalaman kay Romualdez. Kasabay nito, inilabas din ni Defensor ang umano'y pag-uusap ni whistleblower Orly Guteza at ng asawa nito matapos ang unang pagharap niya sa pagdinig ng Senate Blue Ribbon Committee. Batay sa recorded phone call, tila may nag-uudyok umano kay Guteza na baligtarin ang kanyang mga pahayag at idawit si Senador Rodante Marcoleta at Defensor. Paliwanag ni Defensor, ngayon lamang niya inilabas ang naturang recording upang maprotektahan si Guteza sa kasagsagan ng matinding investigasyon sa maanumalyang flood control projects. Mai?
Maraming salamat John Reyes Calata, nag-uulat. Coming up next, Niña Sandejas shares her creative journey and how life is like beyond all the noise and behind the lens. Don't go away, The Daily Dish will be right back.
capturing timeless moments from the greats like Foo Fighters, Radiohead, Metallica, Muse, Red Hot Chili Peppers, Eraserheads, River Maya, Razorback, Urban Dub, Slapshot, Flip Top, and the list goes on.
Today, we're joined by one of the country's most respected music photographers, a visual storyteller whose images have captured icons, subcultures, and generations of sound. Launching her new photo book, the very powerful and creative Niña Sandejas. Hi,
Welcome
Niña.
back.
Hi, thanks for having me back.
Of course, we're so happy you're back. You know, who haven't you captured? That's the real question. When Chal was reading
the whole
intro,
list.
it's like,
Did I say that? Red Hot Chili Peppers. Yeah. Okay.
Who haven't you captured? Like, let's talk about how you started first. Because our viewers, they know you from when we first started Daily Dish. So for our new viewers who haven't seen you and haven't seen that interview, let's talk about how you started and got into this industry.
Okay, I started out as a stylist for River Maya and then realized that it was easier to just take pictures than to buy clothes for four grown men like all the time. So it's like, you know, just realize that it was more fun and less stressful than to kind of like combine like clothes every show than to just document it.
It's actually very niche, right? Because it's very specific that you are taking the photos of musicians, doing it for music. Why did you choose to go into that niche?
I think it goes back to there was a moment where I was doing styling and then Rico Blanco showed me a photo of him as Judas in Jesus Christ Superstar because he played I think one of the characters there. And then he said, I wish there were more photos of me like this way. And I'm like, wait, this could be like a hobby. I mean, I'm a creative, so apart from, because fashion is also visual, so I decided to just take photos and it started from there.
But when you take photos, because like when we go to concerts, our phones are always on to capture the right moment, to capture the right clip, and I get overwhelmed afterwards with all the photos and videos I have. How do you decide which photos are, or when to take the photos first, and which photos are gonna make it to the archive or to your works?
Oh, that's a very good but very difficult question. So whenever I take photos, it's usually, it's very personal. You have to take it as very personal. So even when I choose photos that goes into an archive, you still have to have a personal connection to it because otherwise you wouldn't be able to collect the images into a 20-year archive. So you have to have that like internal guidance that this is a memory that I want to keep versus like something that's just everybody is taking pictures of.
Yeah. And when you go into concerts, do you have like a storyboard of what you want to take a photo of, or do you just go in it blind?
Yeah, usually when we work as music photographers, we have a shot list where we follow the basic photos that we need to deliver to the band. But so when you have that in between, that's when you get like the special moments. That's for you only. So those are the images that usually go into the archive. The images that you don't post right away because you know that in time, that would be images that would be more important versus something that's more immediate.
Help us understand how these photos actually go out there. Is this something that, especially with the change in time, because when you started, of course, publications are there. Now there's less people doing magazines or reading magazines. Is this more for the artists themselves to be able to archive it and tell their story? Or is this for publications still looking for you? Where are you right now at present?
Ever since I started, I always had the intention of that every band that I photographed, I would actually turn it into a book. So that was always the goal. But I didn't tell anybody that because they would be, they would probably laugh at me because, when people tell you like, oh, I'm gonna write a novel someday, and people were just like, okay, and then, so when I document a band, it's always with the intention that this would be something there would be a parts of it that would be for long term, and then there would be parts of it that would help promote them, like the immediate stuff, the ones for publication. So it's always a different like multitasking. We have to create like different levels of imagery, like which goes out to what publication, or if it goes out on Facebook, or if it's just for me personally.
And have artists actually reverse psychology you and say like, hey Niña, I know like this is your job, but for this concert, we want you to capture this, this, or this. Does that happen or not ever?
Usually they just let me do what I want. So I just pick usually bands that are more open and who know me and how I work. So when they know what my intentions are and what I've delivered in the past, then that's when I'm able to get the trust that I can do whatever I want. So people, I mean, there's proof already of what I've done, so they trust that I just do it over and over again and deliver.
What about the international bands? How do you gain their trust, especially with working with them for the very first time?
There's very few international artists that I get to actually like go on short tours, like for example here in Manila. But it's usually when record labels ask me to document them. But when I shoot like international acts like Foo Fighters, Radiohead, the deal is between the festival and me. So they only say you can only shoot like 3 songs for this set, and you're allowed to stay in the pit for this amount of time. So it's high pressure to deliver those amazing photos in just like 10 minutes.
All right,
So cool.
I want to quickly know, what was that defining photo in your career? Because when people look for someone to take photos of all of these amazing artists and names, they really run to you. So what was that defining photo?
I think early in my career when Rico Blanco left River Maya, I did not, I was just taking photos for fun. And then when I was able to capture his last show with River Maya, that's when I realized, okay, things can end this quickly and your memories can disappear. So the photos that we have in our hard drives, you don't know what you've got till it's gone, like as Zuni Mitchell said. So after that, it would be, I would just chase stories and try to like save everything in the hopes that maybe one day this would be valuable. And 20 years later, I know that what I have is valuable. So that's why I'm trying to put this out.
Yeah. Well, Nina, you did mention to us that the purpose has always been to put a book out there, hence why you are here. But first, we'll take a short break. We'll take a quick break. We'll hear more from Nina when the Daily Dish returns. Stay tuned.
The Daily Dish, and still with us is Niña Sandejas, who recently just launched a photo book. So, fun fact for those who don't know, there was a band here in the Philippines called the Greyhounds, and Niña is married to the bassist, Nino. I love that. And they have a son named Nemo.
So, Niña,
cute.
Nino, and Nemo.
We call ourselves the Ninions.
The Ninions. I love that. Okay, so let's talk about the book, because the book looks so beautiful. I love how it's like the coffee style book, and she brought it with us. Let's talk about why you decided to write a book. Not write, to document
create
a book.
it.
Yeah.
Create one.
Ever since, like I said, ever since I was like 7, I've always wanted to create a book. It just so happened that I ended up in the music scene and then realized that there's so many stories that happens in our local music scene that aren't properly documented. I mean, we document them through regular media, but nobody like tries to keep, archives of whatever happened to like our musicians in the 90s, in the early 2000s. So all of those images when we had point and shoots back then, probably in the hard drives or film, are lost or destroyed. So people will not have any reference to our history as a culture.
Okay, Niña, can we borrow the book? I just want to show it to everyone.
And it's really heavy.
Perfect. So I just want to say that, greyhounds really defined a generation and a subgenre. So to people, my age ba? Sige na nga, my age.
Our age.
When you have your high school fair, greyhounds is the one to be invited. So it's kind of like rap metal group band that you really have to have in every single high school fair.
I have to listen to them
Yeah,
now.
20 years, right? How long have they been?
They're turning 30 years.
30 na pala, 30 years.
years.
Okay, so when I go to bookstores, Niña, I always see the big ones. I always see music, how do you say, genre for types of books,
The
right?
different
There's
genres, yeah.
different genres, and there would be music. But when I go to the music ones, it would always be, Michael Jackson, Madonna, international artists.
Yes.
But this is the first time I'm seeing a local artist or band having this type of book, quality one.
That's the goal.
Is it the first? Is it
Yes, for that that caliber and that range of years of storytelling with that book, from 20 years, over 20 years.
Yeah, so this was 20 years in the making.
In the
So,
making.
would you approach this if you want people buying your book, or I guess whoever, like Chal, would you approach this as like a fan book or like a history book, like somebody? I guess, I don't know
Yeah,
how
I
to
get
describe it.
It's
Like,
for
it's a
both.
history book or a fan book? There you go.
It's for both, actually. It was very difficult to craft it because I had to cater to the fans, but also I had to appeal to a lot of art collectors or music supporters that if this big book becomes successful, then there will be more of it. I think all our local musicians
They deserve it.
Yes,
Yes.
they deserve this. And I took a risk by myself to put out this kind of book just to show everyone that it can be done.
Actually, this photo book is also a love story.
Yeah.
For me, I think so. Because it's a love story not just for your husband and your child, who's actually dedicated as well. This book is dedicated to Nemo, but also your love story for your craft.
Yes.
Because you have documented the whole story, which makes me wonder, do you consider yourself a photographer first, an archivist first, or a storyteller first? Which among the three?
I think storyteller, because when you start from there, automatically you use photography as a tool, and then being able to archive stuff is based on stories as well. So it's all based on a flow, a story, and to be able to produce something.
Well, wasn't it scary to make this? Kasi
It-
I have to say, it being one of the first in the local scene, it's very specific for music. It's a make or break. If this does well, it paves the way for other artists. And I know a lot of people would love to have, to see Eraserheads, all the stories, the photos that could come out with it, and all the other bands. So when you decided to create this, what were the fears?
Oh my God. Parang PTSD.
May trauma.
It's a little counseling session over here.
How do I explain this? It's scary in a sense that, I'm spending so much money just to kind of put this out, but and also there was no other way. It was part of my evolution as an artist, and if I did not try, I would have regretted it. And now that it's out, every single day, I jump from regret to so proud. I mean, it's but this is already here. So there's just the path forward is just to kind of talk about how this is needed for our culture, and whether or not this sells. At least there's a benchmark standard of how we deal with our photos, not just as music photographers, but personal, our daily lives, on how we try to preserve the moments that are important to us.
And I'm blown away, Niña, by your book. I'm just scrolling through while Chal is chatting you up. But how important is it to also bridge different generational gaps? Because for most people, and even for if this goes international, not a lot of people know who the Greyhounds are. And even for the Generation Z, Gen Alpha, How would you introduce them, and how important is it to have these archival books to introduce them to the generations to come?
So I chose Greyhounds as one of the bands that I wanted to photograph. So hindi pa kami nung asawa ko when I started photographing them, because of their history about breaking barriers in the rock and hip hop. In the late 90s, there was this like great divide between rock and hip hop. They were mortal enemies, and when Greyhounds came into the scene, suddenly
combined it.
it was very accepted that you could be like
both.
They've created this Filipino version of nu metal. So they performed with Francis Magalona, Rooney, Block 9. So it was accepted na. Before, it was like when metal heads and hip-hop would see each other at the mall, you know there's going to be a riot. So now it's like, it's something that they contributed to our culture as in the Filipino music scene. So that's why I think that they're important. And if an international buyer would see it, I wrote it in a way that it's very like a storybook. It's dedicated to my child, so it's very easy to read and also very deep. So it's like when you're a Greyhounds fan back then, and then now you're an adult, you will still appreciate and remember the feelings of when you were there.
Yeah, no, this is so cool. I definitely feel like I'm in like every part of this book.
I made it like really big so that people would actually experience it, because I made it during the pandemic when music scene was like, it was non-existent. So the concept of making a book where you have like these large pictures where you can immerse yourself and really feel it was part of it. So all the photos there was like full spread.
Yeah, 100%. But Niña, we're gonna put you on the hot seat now real quick. We're gonna do a rapid fire. So whatever comes to mind first, that's what your answer. Are you ready?
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Film or digital?
Film.
Black and white portraits or colorful ones?
Color.
3 songs on your road trip playlist right now.
Oh my God. Sorry, Greyhounds, Deftones, Toto, Africa.
Oh, wow.
Africa, sorry.
Okay, who's a band that you wish you could have photographed at their peak?
Oh, wow. I think U2. I mean, yeah, U2. Oh.
I love you too.
Loud punk gig or flip top mob?
Flip top what? Mob?
Flip top mob.
I think they're the same. So
maybe you can help explain that to me as well.
I don't even know what I'm
Flip top mob. Oh, I get it. The group, the mob.
Like
Flip
you're the
top
circle
mob.
pit.
Yes, exactly.
Oh my God, that's so hard because like. The energy is basically the same. So because I've been shooting flip top for the longest time, I'll go with like the punk
side.
So I kind of miss it.
We definitely have to go to both of them.
I've been to one.
I have to go.
The energy is really strong.
All right, what's the favorite thing to capture backstage that the fans never get to experience?
When our artists are in their quiet, private moments. So to be able to get access to that is just like a blessing for them to trust you with that kind of image.
One photographer, local or international, who shaped you?
Annie Leibovitz.
Oh.
Yeah, because she's like, I don't think everybody knows it. She toured with the Rolling Stones in her early years. And then when I bought a Rolling Stones book, I saw that it was her images. And I realized, a woman is touring with like those bad boys of rock and roll during that time. So that was like my idea of why I ended up here.
And that's what you're doing. You're the Annie Leibovitz of the Philippines. No, you're better. Okay, a gig that you shot that still gives you goosebumps to this day.
Foo Fighters. When Dave Grohl was like, he had a cast on his leg because he broke his leg, and we thought he would never play again. He showed up in Japan with like this Game of Thrones chair and a cast, headbanging and playing guitar.
So sick. I'm getting goosebumps. Like I wish I was there.
Okay, I'll take it back here to the Philippines. One word that describes our music scene.
Oh my God, it's so vibrant. Like you cannot put it in one genre anymore. everybody just can experiment. Everybody knows and appreciates all genres. So there's no barriers anymore. It's
And
so
we
universal.
learned that the other day. We had bedroom pop.
Yes.
So there's vibrant is the word.
And we wouldn't be wondering if there were kitchen pop, the sala pop that would be coming out. It's really a mix of everything.
Okay, Niña, complete this sentence. A great photograph should always blank.
Tell a story.
What's on your FYP page? When you scroll, what is it that pops out?
What do you
Because of course when you go on, yes, your feed. Because of course when you go online, the algorithm pushes things that you really like. So
now
what is it?
it's about archiving. I realize that there's so many people out there in the world that actually like dedicate their lives to like archiving and curating art. So I saw some workshops like in London that I want to join because I want to learn more about how to do this, because it feels like this is the point in my life where, apart from being a photographer, the next level is to just like help other people like curate their legacies.
Yeah, and our last question, so our show is always called The Daily Dish. So since you always tour with the bad boys of the cool bands, if you had to bring one dish every day that you can eat, what would it be on tour?
Bangus. Like dying na bangus. Yeah.
Right?
Yes.
Yes.
Yummy.
Okay.
That sounds so good. Well, thank you, Niña. Can you quickly just invite our viewers on where they can find your book and how to get it?
You can buy and pre-order this at our website, alt164.press. Or you can look for me on Facebook, Niña Sandejas, and all the details are there. Thank you.
Thank you. You're doing great work, Niña. Thank you so much. Once again, that was Niña Sandejas. Up next, World Sports and Entertainment. Stay tuned to The Daily Dish.
Welcome back to the Daily Dish. We have this just in. Agriculture Secretary Francisco Chu Laurel warns of higher rice prices in the coming months due to higher fertilizer costs amid the Middle East crisis. He says prices could go up by at least 10 pesos. From about 50 pesos per kilo, rice could cost as much as 60 to 62 pesos per kilo by September. We'll give you more details on that story as they become available. We begin world stories with news of the United Arab Emirates withdrawing from the Organization of the Petroleum Exporting Countries and the wider OPEC Plus alliance starting May 1st. This, as an unprecedented energy crisis triggered by the Iran war, exposes discord among Gulf nations. The UAE Minister of Energy says their exit reflects a policy evolution and will allow greater flexibility with partners and investors. The UAE, which joined OPEC in 1967, is the third largest producer among member states after Saudi Arabia and Iraq. The exit marks a major shift in global oil markets as OPEC countries currently account for about 36% of world production. At the White House, U.S. President Donald Trump and First Lady Melania hosted a state dinner for King Charles and Queen Camilla. In his remarks, Trump said King Charles agrees that Iran cannot have a nuclear weapon.
And we're doing a little Middle East work right now, too, if you might know. And we're doing very well. We have militarily defeated that particular opponent. And we're never going to let that opponent ever, Charles agrees with me, even more than I do, we're never going to let that opponent have a nuclear weapon. They know that.
Meanwhile, addressing the U.S. Congress, King Charles said the UK and U.S. remain united despite global uncertainty. The King highlighted the need for the same resolve shown after 9/11 to ensure lasting peace, calling their partnership more important than ever.
Whatever our differences, whatever disagreements we may have, we stand united in our commitment to uphold democracy, to protect all our people from harm, and to salute the courage of those who daily risk their lives in the service of our countries.
The U.S. State Department announces it will produce a series of commemorative passports bearing the portrait of President Trump. The passports will be released as part of celebrations for the 250th anniversary of the U.S. Declaration of Independence in July. It is unclear whether U.S. citizens will be able to opt out of receiving the commemorative passport, but officials say there would be no extra fee if they want one.
Creamline Cool Smashers libero Jen Nierva is riding a high after winning her first professional title. From a stellar college career to joining the league's most successful club, she adds more gold to her trophy cabinet. Here's Anton Rojas with that story.
Jen Nierva achieves a major career milestone by winning her first professional title with Creamline in the PVL All-Filipino Conference after a decorated collegiate run. The Creamline libero admits the moment still feels surreal as she finally secures the championship she had long envisioned at the professional level. Nierva earned this breakthrough after years of resilience, overcoming setbacks, including the disbandment of her former team Cherry Tigo, with her trademark steady defense and composure. Her move to Creamline in January 2026 is now proving to be a turning point, landing her in the middle of one of the most dominant dynasties in Philippine volleyball. Nierva says her pro title adds to her UAP success with National University, but emphasizes the big jump in difficulty between collegiate play and the professional level. And as the Cool Smashers continue to sit on top, Nierva knows they've become the team to beat, making preparation and self-improvement more crucial than ever.
Kita ko naman ngayon, today's game talaga kung ano yung weaknesses ko pa and what the things that I need to work on, and I'm humbled by that. But I'm just grateful na ayun nga, yung mga teammates ko nandyan palagi para sa akin. Sa likod nila ako, sasaluhin nila ako, the whole team.
Nierva embraces the expectations of Creamline's winning culture and stays grounded, knowing continued success requires more work. Nierva and the Cool Smashers took the title by beating the gritty Cignal Super Spikers via a 2-0 sweep in their title showdown last week at the Araneta Coliseum. Anton Rojas, Bilyonaryo News Channel.
World number one Jannik Sinner's brilliant form continues as he reached the quarterfinals of the Madrid Open, extending his winning streak to 20 matches. World number one Jannik Sinner is through to the Madrid Open quarterfinals after a commanding straight sets win over Britain's Cameron Norrie. Sinner cruised 6-3, 6-2, extending his dominant run on play and continuing his strong return to form ahead of Roland Garros. Sinner now takes on the Spaniard Rafael Hodar, edging closer to another Masters 1000 title as momentum builds heading into the French Open. On the other side of the draw, Alexander Zverev is back in the quarterfinals of the Madrid Open after outlasting rising Czech star Jakub Mensik in a gripping three-set battle. The two-time Madrid champion looked in control early, but Mensik forced a decider after stealing the second set tiebreak. Zverev responded with poise, recovering from an early break in the third and winning 5 of the final 6 games to seal the victory. The German fired strong on serve, winning 81% of his first serve points as he reached his first Madrid quarterfinals in 4 years. Sasha now sets up a showdown with Italy's Flavio Caboli for a place in the semis.
In entertainment, Princess Mikay is back home. Local actress Catherine Bernardo shares photos from her recent trip to Bhutan. The scenic shots had her fans feeling nostalgic for the celeb's breakout role as Princess Mikay in her hit 2012 series Princess and I. The trip had Bernardo herself going down memory lane as she captioned the post, "Better late than never." Bhutan memes comes through. American actress Laura Dern checks into the White Lotus. Best known for her roles in classic films such as Jurassic Park and October Sky, she joins the cast for the series' 4th season. Dern will be stepping in to replace Helena Bonham Carter with an entirely new character. Carter's departure was announced after the original character for her did not align on set, and the character is being entirely rewritten for Dern.
Music icon Ariana Grande has just announced her next album, titled Petal. The American music star seems to be going for a retro summer vibe, known for hits such as Seven Rings and her starring role in the musical films Wicked. Ariana didn't say much else about her new album, only that it's dropping on July 31st this year. Up next, we take a look at the latest happenings in the aesthetics industry as Aivee Clinic launches their newest branch in Parqal. Don't go away, the Daily Dish will be right back.
I am at the Aivee Clinic, and today is their launch. All 40 rooms here are, well, let's just say elevated over at the Aivee Group. And we're going to go check out the facilities, especially the Aivee Skin Spa. Come and go follow me.
You know how some places just feel expensive the moment you walk in? This is one of them. Tonight, we're stepping into a space where beauty, science, and a little bit of indulgence come together, not just about the treatments anymore, but how you feel before, during, and after. Here's everything seems designed to slow things down a bit, while still delivering that signature Aivee glow.
I am at Parqal, wherein we're going to be launching the Aivee Clinic and the Aivee Spa. And of course, we are with Dr. Z and Dr. Ivy Teo of the Aivee Group of companies. So, tell us what is going on here at the Aivee Clinic Parqal.
Hi, Ferdi. Good afternoon. Thank you for joining us here today at our formal launch of the Aivee Clinic and the Aivee Skin Spa here in Parqal. Tonight, in celebration of our first clinic after the pandemic, or after 7 years, we're finally opening the new Aivee Clinic here in Parqal, and so we're so excited.
I'm very excited too, because they can't see behind the cameras, but the activities and the scale of the two twin clinics. I call it the twin clinics because they're right in front of each other. Dr. Z, why did it take 7 years?
Well, 7 years is a pretty long time.
It's a lucky number.
It's a lucky number, and I mean, you got the minus 2.5 years for COVID, right? So it took us around a couple of years for us to conceptualize a new concept. And the reason why is because we wanted to see what the patients want, and we found that it has shifted. What patients want is not just going to a clean clinic, beautiful clinic, and do treatments. They want the whole experience. They want to be able to go there and feel pampered. It's a whole lifestyle, and so I think the whole shift happened, and right now we are starting that shift by doing this concept of having the Aivee Clinic and the Aivee Skin Spa with the skincare all integrated together, so that everyone would have a flawless and luxurious experience when they go to Aivee.
Well, you are the purveyors of skincare luxury in the Philippines. So I went around. Is this a sneak peek to the chain of Aivee Clinics?
You know, Ferdi, when, as Dr. Z mentioned, when we build clinic, it's really organic. But what we want is every clinic, as we open a new Aivee clinic, it has to be elevated. It has to be a step forward. It has to be intentional. We really have to listen, and we have to really know what our patient wants. And it has to be a sanctuary for them to also for self-care. So we want the full experience. So that's why we're very particular about every single detail, and we want to make sure that they can get the best of both worlds, which is going to an Aivee clinic, at the same time having a very good experience in the skin spa, having their bespoke medical facial if they don't want any injections or anything painful treatment for them.
I was going to ask you, why did you decide to separate the two how should I say it, businesses, or rather than businesses, the two experiences? Doc Z?
Well, simply because they are very different experiences. And the people that come to Aivee has evolved in the sense that not every single person wants to get a needle poked in the face, right? So we have people coming in.
I don't mind.
Well, of course, you.
Aivee face.
But we have people coming from all over the world, and they don't really want anything invasive. They just want to have a really nice medical-grade facial. And we're talking about medical-grade, we're not talking about those type of facials that you get in the normal spas. What we're talking about is medical technology infused into a luxury setting, and we are putting all the right ingredients and using the right machines to give you lifting, hydration, and anti-aging as you do facials.
Why Parqal?
Well, you know, Ferdi, we are all aware that this location is very close to the airport. And so right now, we are really into beauty, medical tourism for the Philippines. Diba? We know about Korean beauty or K-beauty. We know about Thai beauty or T-beauty. But you know, why don't we promote T-beauty? Why don't we encourage more people to come to the Philippines and have their beauty treatments, knowing that we have the latest and the most advanced technologies in our country with the service that we Filipinos are known for.
It's all hard.
Of course.
Right? But the thing is, with going to a clinic, getting a facial or getting other enhancements done, whether it's surgical or non-surgical, what makes Aivee a cut above the rest?
I would say innovation. We are always pushing the boundaries to make sure that the latest and the most advanced treatments are in Aivee. So there is no expense spared. We travel around the world, learn from all the experts, get everything top-notch, and they are always in the Aivee Clinic. So when you go in to the Aivee Clinic, you know that you're going to get the best treatments. Then gives a good result.
I was about to say, do you both sleep? Because you're everywhere and there at the same time. Is that intentional, or is that what you think about what's the best way to deal with your customer base?
You know, Ferdi, there's always something that we need to discover.
The party's starting.
I know, the party's starting already. We're very passionate with what we do. And I think when we're passionate, you don't feel like you're working. So we're enjoying every bit of work that we do in building a concept that is different, and we also want to make sure that the space that we're building is really experiential. I mean, we don't want to scrimp on the details. We want to make sure that when they enter the Aivee Clinic, they feel that it's world class.
Let's talk details. At the Aivee Clinic in Parqal, how many treatment rooms have you got?
In the Aivee Clinic, we've got about 14 treatment rooms. In the spa, we have around about 10. We have double rooms, we have single rooms, we have VIP suites. We've got something for everyone.
VIP suites, it's like a hotel. You got it here, that's an exclusive, huh? Aivee Hotels.
Our rooms are very spacious because we feel that space is luxury. And it's important for them to have really their own space that they can enjoy. And we even have, you can even have your own toilet in your own room. So we really want to give the best to our patients.
Let's talk nostalgia. The Aivee Clinic has been, your brand has been around for over
17 years.
17 years this year.
17 years. Looking back to your first clinic and what you have now, how's the journey been, Doc Aivee?
Wow, the journey has been very, very exciting, I would say. what I love about it is that the Aivee journey has been a wonderful experience for me and Z, because it really gave us an opportunity to be able to learn, discover our field. At the same time, it has also opened doors for us to meeting a lot of people, getting to know them, being friends with them, having a family. At the same time, we're always in constant pursuit of excellence in our field. So it's really a very exciting, it's a roller coaster ride for the two of us.
That's what I've noticed. Your patients are not considered patients. How do you maintain that rapport? How do you maintain that relationship with them?
I think it boils down to the word trust.
Okay.
So I think that's important because they trust us and we give them the best. And we spend time with them. I think that's the most important. First, ultimately, Aivee and I are physicians. We are still doctors, besides all these beautiful clinics and all. At the core of it all is our Hippocratic oath, right, to do the best for our patients, right? So I think that ultimately the patients kind of trust us, and with that trust comes a deeper relationship, friendship, and our patients have been with us for 17, 20 years, and they're still here.
Yeah, you've been spending time with me for almost 15 years. So
but the Mets don't count because they are with us for 17 years, but they look 30 years younger.
So
Exhibit A, right? But let's go, talk about something else aside from these beautiful clinics. You both are very conscientious about giving back. And I noticed that several times a year, you've got a charity which is called Aivee
Beyond Borders.
Aivee Beyond, or Beauty Beyond Borders.
Beauty Beyond Borders.
Why did you come up with that?
You know, from the start, since I started my practice, I've always been wanting to give back to my patients. I've always had free clinics. I always give free medications to my patients. I've always volunteered in medical missions. But I feel that now that we have a bigger platform, we should use it to be able to reach out to more people, to our less fortunate Filipinos out there. So that's why we go to the barangays. We give them not only free dermatological services, but also surgical services. Because we really want to make a difference in our lives, not only by beautifying our patients, but beautifying, hopefully, a lot of Filipinos who don't get to visit our clinics.
I love that. I mean, you've been doing it for years, right? Let's demystify a few things, okay? Filipinos are now, not slowly, but very steadfastly, not ashamed of doing things and making sure that they shout it out on the top of the world, right? On top of a mountain, rather. What's the most sought after treatments at the Aivee Clinic? I just wanna, is it my nose? Or is it
Well, I mean, I think we call it bestseller or what? We call it is number one. I think the panda eye. A lot of people have very, very tired looking eyes. So we do panda eyes, and we've done so many that we were just told that Aivee Clinic is the number one in Southeast Asia.
Again?
Yes. So we do the most in Southeast Asia.
Right.
All right. So panda eye is one. Lifting, tightening is always super popular. We've got the favorites, the Althera Prime, the Density, the latest Zerf, and the new one that we're going to launch, which is the 2-minute facelift.
All right, but I'm super excited to go check out the facilities. Anything else to add to the uniqueness of the Aivee Clinic and the Aivee Spa?
I think the skincare. I mean, I think that's massive because that's something that Aivee has poured her heart and soul for the past 10 years to develop an Aivee skin product that range that is good for everyone.
Apparently, a little bird told me that this is your first retail outlet.
It is,
Exactly.
yes.
So
how is that possible?
Well, yes, because now we're actually putting the 3 concepts in one. So we want our patients to be able to have access to our Aivee Skin products. So that's why we put up an Aivee Skin retail area, because these products are mostly for a lot of okay for almost all skin types.
So people can go through separately without going into the
clinic as well.
Does this include your cosmetics?
Yes.
And of course, our makeup line is also coming out soon, right? So yes,
It's already come out. You know what?
Yes.
My blush is actually your lipstick.
Oh, see,
Yeah.
diba?
Shameless plug, but that's okay. thank you so much. And I can't wait to go inside and show our viewers what you both have to offer, not your patient, but your family members.
Yeah.
Thanks, Ferdi.
Thank you, Dr. Aivee. Thank you, Dr. Z.
7 years in the making, and it shows. Every corner feels intentional, from the way the spaces open up to how each experience is designed to feel a little bit more personal and indulgent. It's clear that a shift from a usual clinic visit into something far more immersive. As the night picks up, so does the crowd, familiar faces, industry personalities, and guests all coming in. Curious to see what this new space is really about. I am with a very hardworking Sam Versosa. Sam, how are you?
I'm good. I'm here to support Dr. Aivee and Dr. Teo. Yeah.
Yes, of course. What's your favorite treatment?
The spa. That's the newest addition to the Aivee Skin Institute. The spa, you have to see the spa. It's the most high-end spa I've ever seen in the country. It's like what Dubai vibes that you need to experience for yourself. That's what we're gonna see today.
Even industry regulars are in awe of the scale and design of this latest branch.
I am, of course, no need for any introduction, but Nadine Lustre.
Hi.
Hi, babes. How are you?
Good. It's so hot. But because the event is really hot right now. It's the Aivee Skin Spa opening.
Everyone is here.
I know. I feel like I'm early.
What are you excited about tonight?
What am I most excited about? I'm just really excited to see everyone. Everyone looks amazing. Everyone's really dressed up. Yeah, just to hang out with everyone.
And the clinic is huge.
I know. And this is my first time seeing this branch.
Because you know what?
Really excited.
Nadine and I normally go to the one in BGC,
Yes.
but this is a contender.
This is something else because it's huge. I mean, I'm here outside pa lang, but I can imagine how big they are. Tsaka ang dami niyang different areas.
Dami ang pasabog.
I know. So really, really excited to see everything, and I hope I get the proper tour, even though maraming tao.
The night just kept on coming. Aivee Clinic's loyal roster of stars came out in full force, including Sharon Cuneta, Julian Santos, Marcel Soriano, Bella Padilla, Sarah Labati, and more. All here to celebrate this milestone moment.
The major stars descended here in Parqal, showing the force of the Aivee Group here for the opening of Aivee Clinic. This is Ferdi Salvador for Bilyonaryo News Channel.
That looks so good and everyone looks fabulous. Tomorrow on the Daily Dish, we'll have director Alice Dare Lee and the cast of Under the Sink, a zany all-ages musical from Studio M. That's at noon, only here on the Bilyonaryo News Channel. And that's it for us today, Wednesday, April 29. Join us again tomorrow for more Real Talk.
A lot of spilled tea.
With zero filter, I'm Monique Tuzon-Basi. Anytime is a good time because it's always more fun with us.
I'm Ferdi Salvador, always on top of the news and stories that matter most.
I'm Chal Lontoc. Stay tuned to the Bilyonaryo News Channel always.
And thanks for making us your lunchtime companion. I'm Mai Rodriguez, and that's the Daily Dish. Serve!